Basketball is my favorite sport. I like that way they dribble up and down the court. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What a world, what a world. Life is a bitch, what a girl, what a girl.
Yo. I wish I could do like a powder.
That's what I was just about to say. I want to do the chalk toss. I don't know why. Bro. You know, apparently he's conjuring demons when he does that.
Oh, man. Let's get into that. we could do a whole episode on that.
You know, dead ass. Illuminati confirmed. LeBron James.
Oh, what is good? What is great world? We are here behind the logo.
Always.
Episode 10. Milestone, man. We here.
Right at the
We
decade mark.
Episode 10, man. It's awesome. Feeling good. Feeling awesome. Here with my main man, Christoph Bozio.
Yo.
Here with my man, Dan, the man with the OnlyFans.
I just renewed my subscription, actually.
Oh, did you really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the monthly, yeah. I automatically have
It's just renewed.
I have the money taken out of my card.
Great content,
so,
people. Great content.
Hey. YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment, always.
All that good shit.
Twitter, Behind the Logo 23. Instagram, Behind the Logo 23. How you been doing this week, man?
Oh, man. It was a busy week,
Yeah.
actually. Work. We did some segment for the pod. If y'all follow us on social media, that he just pointed out.
Hey.
Went on a couple dates too. A couple dates. Those were interesting.
Days.
Yeah, those were interesting.
Days. How was that?
Man, honestly, dating life ain't for me, bro. I just need a wife.
Really?
I wish I could skip all the steps of dating and just marry somebody. Like, I'm
not mad at that.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm tired of all the like getting to know people.
It's expensive.
Like, yeah, and you have to act like you give a fuck about the first couple of weeks. No, think about this. Like, when you ask those first couple questions to the girl you're talking to, like, do you really give a fuck about any of that shit? Like, does it ever come back up?
I gauge my interest level based on the like depth of my question. Like, so at the beginning, like, so what school do you go to? Like, major, all that. I'm like, whatever.
All that never comes back up again with me.
Exactly.
Like you'll tell me your major on the first date, and then like 2 weeks later, I'll be like, "What was your major again?"
It's like, now I actually care.
Like, now I actually care.
What's your favorite date spot in Broward County?
A favorite date spot?
Yeah.
Shit, man. Damn, actually,
I'm honestly asking because like I need some.
I need to spice things up in the relationship. Honestly, I mean, it depends on the girl. Honestly, this is gonna sound whack, but because quarantine, like, and I haven't been able to come to this place in a while. True. But it's always, you can never go on with a movie. Okay. Cinemark. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Bowling, going to Spares. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So when it comes to the movie, then, are you, what, like, say Avengers Endgame just came out. Yeah. You just asked a nice lady.
I'm not bringing no bitch with me to go see Avengers Endgame.
Okay. So I can't. Do you pick the movie that you're actually trying to watch?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Pro move.
Okay, I go for whatever she's interested in first.
Facts.
And also,
look at that.
I like to go movie and dinner in the same night.
Okay.
But I'll do dinner.
Look at this guy.
I'll do dinner second, so when we see the movie and we're at dinner now, we have something to talk about just in case.
I like that.
We can never get stuck.
I like that.
Like, you imagine awkward silence, just be like, yo, remember that one scene? Like, I don't give a fuck about it, but let's talk about it. Like, it's getting dry.
Again, I know the night and the conversation's going well based on the depth of the questions. If I find myself having to ask you about the movie that we just watched, I'm probably this is going far. Okay, yeah, man. My week was pretty good, pretty light. Been planning out my 5-year anniversary coming up on September 28th. 5 years, man. 5 years.
That's crazy.
Big milestone. I can't
You gonna pop the question?
Chill.
She's not here. We could ask.
Chill. Like, the amount of family that I have watching these episodes, like, you're gonna open up a whole new can of worms that I'm not prepared to deal with. So shit. We're gonna edit.
Edit point here.
But yeah, man, just coming up with things to do. I think we're going to head up to Jupiter, do a little nice thing on the beach. Okay. That's like quarantine friendly. You know
For those of you not from Florida, he's not talking about the planet Jupiter.
Yeah. No.
Talking about a nice little city.
But our time will be out of this world. Yay. Oh, I'm not going to get a promise.
Yo, on right there, can we add like Patrick going like, boo? Like, that was awful.
Hey, man. Hey. So, I mean, in our pre-group meeting, you brought up something interesting to me. Yeah. That I thought was worth getting into while we're updating the world on, just everything that's going on. Yeah. scrolling through your Instagram feed, you saw something. If you want to intro it to the people, man.
No, unfortunately,
this was really dope.
I actually didn't see it on Instagram,
See what
unfortunately.
I did there? Dope.
Yo, you're killing it with the whack shit today, bro. Like, but anyway, no, but I actually didn't see it on Instagram first. I saw it on Twitter, and it's a video of Bronny James, LeBron James' son, smoking weed. Like, and if you. And you know what's funny? From the hit he took, you could tell he's been doing this.
Yes.
Like, it was a nice little.
Oh, what
it was a nice little rotation. Like, so what reason we want to get into this is because, one, I fully expect my kids to smoke. Honestly, like they come from my loins. Like, I'm not a pothead, but I do. I dabble. I dabble. Like, so do I expect my kids to not do it? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hypocrite. I feel like the next generation coming in are going to be better parents in general. That's a whole nother topic for another.
Interesting.
That's a whole nother topic for another segment. But like, honestly speaking, because our parents' expectations for us was just unrealistic. Like, they were doing coke in the 70s.
I get you. No, I get you. And then they were like, do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly. Like I want you to learn from my mistakes. Sometimes you got to touch the iron to know it's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So, in terms of Bronny James, I just feel like the only wrong he was in was, one, obviously putting it on his public Instagram. Like, he fucked up. Like,
move.
that was a rookie move.
Rookie move.
That was a D'Angelo Russell move.
Rookie move.
So, not only that, but your father is currently contending for an NBA championship.
Yeah. In an isolated environment.
Like, it's not like he was like at Staples Centers and he can like go home and go check you after that. Like, he has to wait until this. Like, if he leaves the bubble because of some dumb shit you do, he can't come back for another 2 weeks. His team might not make it another 2 weeks without him.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like he fucked up. But other than that, like, man, he's a kid doing kid shit.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with weed.
Yeah. The sentiment I'm kind of getting from you is, it was just dumb to post it.
Yeah, just dumb to
it
post
happens.
it.
You're not holding his feet to the fire.
Like, you're not even living off your dad's money at this point. You have your own endorsements. You're a multi-million-dollar kid. Like, you don't have to flex.
Does he have his own endorsements?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like,
crazy.
Like, he doesn't have to flex.
I didn't know that.
And I feel like people who do post shit like that are trying to flex. He doesn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Not mad at that. I think we're in lockstep for most of what you just said. I actually didn't even know this happened until you brought it up to me. So this is kind of like my initial reaction.
Yeah.
Yo, man, he's a kid. He's a kid in California. A rich kid in California. Like,
you know the shit his white friends probably smoke.
I think it probably would have been worse if maybe he wasn't in a state where it's legal.
Yeah.
Then you could bring up the whole illegality of it. But yo, man, you're LeBron James' son. I'm sure LeBron has done at least some schooling in the boundaries of what we can and can't post on social media, the media savvy guy that LeBron is.
Yeah.
It's just a dumb move, man. You know his mom beat that ass.
And you know what also sucks?
You know Savannah was beating that ass.
She tore it up.
She clapped that ass.
You know what also sucks? That this is kind of like his second strike. Because did you see that? You saw that one video he posted when he was
that white girl?
No. Oh god, no! I don't count that as a strike.
So cringy.
But it was cringy. But I don't give a fuck what he's doing. No, but he posted a video. He was saying some shit like, "Oh, like these bitches don't give a fuck about a nigga." Like, he was just going off and like shit like people his age should not be saying. Like, you know what I'm talking about or no? That video, so I gotta show y'all that. So yeah, no, there's a video of him like just cursing for no reason. I'm sure LeBron checked him about that. That was earlier in the season before quarantine. So like, I'm just like, this is your second time embarrassing your family. And I feel like that's an aspect that's also not talked about. You're carrying a legacy. A lot of us don't have that struggle. Like, absolutely. A lot of us don't have that burden of thinking like, I have to protect my family's name because we're a household name. You know what I'm saying? If I do something, no one's gonna think about my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one even knows my dad. Like, Bronny has to step out the house every day knowing if I end up on TMZ, if I post some dumb shit, it's gonna directly trace back to my father and what he's doing. So him knowing that, it's just gonna come with maturity and age, honestly.
To that point, I think the fact that this is the kind of like extent to which the trouble he's getting into, I think he's handled the pressure of being LeBron James' son pretty well.
Into that, if you don't mind me piggybacking off of that speaks even more to LeBron James and how he hasn't like been in any trouble.
I was gonna ask you, do you think LeBron James is a genuinely good dad? Seeing this, like, do you think it puts his fatherhood into question at all?
You know what's crazy? Even if it did in the slightest, you can't even attest it to LeBron like how he fathers his son, but the distance, I feel, because he's always traveling, always on the road.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could attest to that. That just means that once he's like done with this basketball shit, which is only a couple of years, enjoy it while it lasts, people. He's gonna be in that household, and I'm sure that's when Bronny's gonna really get that mentorship. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And not to say that he hasn't been getting it, but LeBron is out the house a lot.
Is Savannah's role as a mother sometimes overlooked because of the spotlight that is on LeBron and how outspoken he is and what he's done for the youth?
To all the
I feel like sometimes sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I feel like sometimes we focus so much on, is LeBron a good father? I think we don't ask. Savannah is, like, we don't even need to ask. She's a great mother. Seems like a really great mother who holds that entire household down.
When you look at the Savannahs, the
Aishas.
the Vanessas, the Aishas, like Vanessa, Kobe Bryant's wife, she's a superstar, man. Like I'm saying, people don't give mothers in the basketball world enough credit because they have to hold down. Like I said, they're carrying their man's legacy.
Absolutely.
They know what that comes with when they get into it, and all the long lasting relationships you see. Like LeBron's been with his woman for 20 years now, since high school.
All while getting no credit.
Exactly.
Like LeBron gets this credit. Sometimes you see in the national media of him.
Yeah.
Oh, great, like they don't get enough credit.
You know, unfortunately, I'm sorry
we're
not big enough. But shout out to you.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
No, shout out to all the NBA wives, man.
Yeah, like you guys are dope, man. Not the baby mamas. I'm talking about the wives. I'm talking about the basketball wives, okay? Nah, like, cause I can see like some random like pregnant like, yeah, I take care of mine. Nah, you don't. You got the bag. Hey, shout out to you for getting the bag, but that's it. That's as far as your credit goes. Where are we at now?
That's funny, man. Wellness check. Rest in peace to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't know if you heard, a Supreme Court justice passed away. If not today, it was yesterday. Huge icon for women in general. Just a huge loss for this country, man.
Damn.
R.I.P. to an icon. R.I.P. to a legend. Very interesting to see how this is going to shake out with a Supreme Court justice seat now being open. Very interesting to see how that's going to play out.
Wow, man.
Along that Bronny discussion, because it's actually very interesting. How do you see yourself bringing up the conversation of weed to your kids? Because understand that they're going to grow up in a different time with it. We're already in a position where it's legalized in most states.
It's more normalized, now.
You know what I mean? Way more. I only see that advancing further. How do you plan on introducing that topic? How do you plan on holding that discussion?
To all my old heads, man, y'all remember like it used to come in like foil, like no, seriously, like now you get these fancy packs and everything. Like it's becoming more and more normalized. You're about to start seeing it honestly in like the checkout line in Publix pretty soon. Yeah, man. So how do I plan on going about it? I'm probably gonna be on my porch. Probably gonna be early in the morning. I'm probably gonna be smoking by myself. My son gonna stumble outside and I'm just be like, son, come here.
I'm so happy we have this like recorded on video because when he has his first kid, we have to show them this. When he first catches his kid like smoking out of an apple.
But but to your point, that's exactly what I'm trying to prevent. The relationship I want with my kids is far from the relationship I have with my parents. I don't want them to have to hide anything from me.
Absolutely.
Like I want to openly talk to my son about sex. I want to openly talk to my son or my daughter about smoking. I'm not gonna hype it up to them because not everyone does it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make it seem like, oh, it's the greatest thing in the world. You have to smoke. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. I'm just letting them know the pros and the cons, and then you make your decision. I want them to learn it from me rather than some random kid at their school who barely knows anything about it.
Who's just trying to make $20.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I get you.
So that's.
Does it matter the age?
Does it matter the age? Absolutely.
After high school,
You don't.
even in high school, but they have to get their shit together. They have to have their shit together.
Absolutely. I mean, that's priority. I think a thing that is huge is the ability to, like Christoph kind of said, have that open conversation about it. I don't, as a parent, I don't want to feel like, wow, is my child like sneaking around behind my back doing things that like
I feel like
we could just talk about.
Like I really feel like that would be the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, because you honestly feel like, wow, are they like afraid of me? Or like, there's something I did. It would just, I would very easily turn that inward as opposed to outward.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would be as cavalier as to smoke with them the first time.
It gotta
That's
be the
a
first
little.
time.
That's a little.
First time gotta be with me.
That's a little brash.
And I'm
for
not.
me.
I'm wait. Just for context, I'm not gonna sit here and like get my son like.
Hey, bro.
Like I'm not gonna tell him like tote. Like I'm not like.
Interesting that you keep saying son. Would it be different? Would you be different with it if you had a daughter? As opposed
Yeah,
to a
no,
son?
it is. It does seem kind of weird that I keep saying son. It's just
I do it the same too.
It's weird
I do
because
it
I
too.
imagine my first kid as a son. I don't know
Same.
why.
No, I do the same thing.
But God's probably gonna give me a daughter. You know, the player's curse. Even though I don't consider myself a player, but other women may disagree. Anyway, no, but
Drop a like or a comment.
leave a comment if you think Christophe's an asshole. But I mean, if it's a girl, I feel like it's a different conversation. I think in terms of stuff like that, girls kind of like get into it later, don't they? Or maybe I'm tripping. Like I don't know any women from my elementary school that was talking about it or middle school talking about it.
Did you go to private school?
No, I went to, okay, so funny story about my schooling, right? And when you guys bring up your kids, don't do this to them because I'm a social outcast and I'm awkward because of this. But no, seriously.
Patio kid.
Exactly. We're patio kids. I spent from pre-K to kindergarten at Nativity Catholic School, right?
Okay.
And then I went from 4th grade to 7th grade in public school. I went to Palm Cove Elementary in Pines Middle with Matt Matura, a friend of ours.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then for 8th grade in high school, I went back to Catholic school. You're not supposed to do it like that. Don't stagger it, okay? Like I was raised believing that I was like it was when people said suck in my Catholic school, like people were like, oh my god. I went from hearing that to in my first year of middle school when I went to public school, somebody told me suck my dick, and I was like, I didn't know how to respond to it. I was like, oh my god, we're allowed to talk like this?
The culture shock was crazy.
The culture shock was crazy, and then it just was harder to adapt after that.
That's so interesting.
You gotta just have to pick one, and more like what I think I'm gonna do with my kid. I'm gonna choose private school only because for some reason it looks better. Yeah. Like on like resumes and shit. Yeah. But I'm not gonna let him get out of touch with or her. I'm not gonna let them get out of touch with, you know, our roots. Like you know what I'm saying? Where absolutely. I'm actually from. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. I definitely hope we're friends long enough for me to see how you raise your household.
I mean, shit, if this shit blow up, we in it for the long haul, baby.
Yeah, man. I don't think I'll be as cavalier as you. I do see myself being that kind of, like me and Gabby have had these conversations a lot. Like I'm definitely gonna be the strict parent. Like no cap. Like I'm not tolerating that.
I could see Gabby being one of those like go ask your dad.
Bro,
Like
we've had conversations about how to regulate like sweets and like eating candy, and we've already come to the conclusion that I'm gonna like open up our pantry and find her like with our kids with just like boxes of candy open like hoarding. Like, I'm like,
oh my god,
what's going on?
Like
here?
what is this? Is this the family I raised?
But in honesty, I think if you implement that value of like, listen, anything can be talked about here, and judgment won't be the first reaction, I think you'll find those conversations just go down a lot easier. Those experiences happen a lot more naturally.
Exactly.
Because you can't control every way that they're going to be exposed to things. You know what I mean?
You
like
can't.
if there was a button that could kind of like be like, okay, I want them to experience how to smoke weed at this age, and then I want them to experience.
You're right. More than likely,
you feel me?
Like more than likely, my daughter's gonna come home one day from elementary school, be like, "Oh my God, Dad, someone whipped out his penis." I'm gonna be like,
"You
okay.
get me? You get me?" And I was about to.
First of all, I gotta kill him. I gotta kill him, and then I have to explain to her what it is now. Like now we have to have that conversation.
Once the innocence is stripped away, exactly, bro. So it's just. And then I know I would be more strict as like hypocritical as it is. I would be more strict with a girl than I would with a boy.
You think so?
I would be strict with both. Don't get me wrong, but with the girl, I would just be way more like I don't trust other men out there.
Yeah,
I just
no,
don't.
I don't.
It's
obvious.
And I don't trust other parents' abilities to raise men well based on what I've seen in like our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got.
Good? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we got no reason to put on a front for anyone. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Obviously, I'm gonna be more protective over my daughter. Like, part of raising a son, I feel, is letting him become a man. And becoming a man doesn't happen with someone, you know, babying you. It happens with you learning lessons on your own. Now, to become a woman, I feel like you have to be nurtured a little bit. Like, I feel like you learn lessons through other successful women, and you know, don't let any man treat you lesser than. Like, that's how you learn how to be a woman, in my opinion.
Absolutely, man. No, I'm not mad at that at all. That was pretty beautiful.
Thank you.
Sports.
Wow, this is a sports podcast.
This is a sports podcast, man. But I like having these talks, bro. Yeah, I honestly learned a little bit about you too. I didn't know you switched up the private school, public school thing. I did the same.
But I was flip flopping.
Yeah, I get you, bro. I did the same, and I definitely agree with you. Like the culture shock is real.
Yeah.
Like you go from just such innocence and such protection to just thrown to the wolves.
Dog, how much shit we gonna find out we have in common, bro?
Right?
Like it's happening all before y'all
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool, man. But yo, sports, sports podcast. MLB playoffs coming soon. We're coming down the stretch there.
How do you feel about your Marlins?
Ooh, man, big game today against the Nationals. Right now, we're second place, and as I told you, top 2 teams in each division, automatic playoff spot. Mm-hmm. We're holding on right now. We're holding on for our lives. Yeah. They split a doubleheader. Big game today. Must win. Yeah, definitely interested to see how that's gonna go.
All right, man.
To the NFL, man. Yo, our predictions video, week 1. You did really well, bro. Yeah, 9 for 15. You said above 50%. You did it.
Yes, sir.
I shot like Shaq from the free throw line. Mad bricks, bro. Mad bricks.
I didn't start off too good. Thursday night matchup, I lost, but
we both did. But you called it to be a shootout, and at the time in the context of it, I would expect the Bengals to win a shootout just off of the Joe Burrow hype. So I feel you. I'm not mad at it. Like the fact that you called it a shootout was dope enough for me. Browns won 35-30. Mm-hmm. Pretty good game. Odell caught a little touchdown. It was nice to see that. I almost forgot he existed.
Fantasy owners should look to get rid of him while they can.
Sell high.
Right
Agreed.
Now
Agreed. And if you can buy low on any of their backs, buy low.
Definitely
with you on that. Buy low on Joe Mixon. We were talking about that. Buy low on Joe Mixon. I think that's a great move, man.
Yep.
So go ahead, subscribe to our channel if you want to see any of our other prediction vids. Week 2 is already out. Go ahead and check it out. And
we're gonna be working on fantasy videos coming up soon too. Come to us for your fantasy advice.
Fuck Matthew Berry. Yeah, man. So NFL season, man. So week 1, I know everyone here started out their week 1 games. You being a Colts fan, me being a Lions fan, you being an Eagles fan. Started out our games. First half we were like, I know y'all see that, right? I know y'all see that,
bro.
And then, I just kind of want to go person by what in your mind? Obviously, Daniel, no microphone, so we'll just kind of put together what you're saying. But what happened? What happened? I'll let you go first, bro. What happened to the Eagles? What did you see? What did you hate? Let's get into it, bro.
Okay.
No fans. You would think that.
All right,
talent matters. You would think talent matters more, but
so what happened with the Eagles, right? It was strictly Carson Wentz trying to do too much, which was leading to turnovers, which was leading to the defense not being able to stay off the field, which left to the Redskins being able to somehow find their way to the end zone.
So your blame lies with Wentz.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
And it wasn't because he performed great in the first half, if we're being honest.
He did.
He performed
17-0 against the team that you should be up 17-0 on.
17-0 going into the second half, and at that point, you're supposed to just sit on the lead.
Yes.
Carson felt like he needed more than that. So he threw dangerous passes. He stayed in the pocket too long. He was getting hit. I think Washington now has the best pass rush just off of their numbers from week 1.
Yeah. I don't think the Miles Sanders injury helped.
It didn't.
The Lane Johnson injury didn't help. Chase Young is that
No,
guy.
we are banged up, but at some point,
Chase Young is gonna be a problem.
At some point, we're banged up every year, and we just have to acknowledge the fact that sometimes we just got to get it done.
Does your strength and conditioning coach need to be fired?
We haven't had a decent training staff for years now.
Yeah.
This goes back for a while. Think about it. Carson can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
We've always had problems with our receivers. Deshaun Jackson only played 3 games last year. after dropping like 40 fantasy points.
Oh yeah, he looked. That connection with Carson looked good last year.
Exactly.
It did.
So we just have to stay on the field, and Carson, man, just know that you're great. Like, if you somehow see this, man, you're great. You don't have to do too much. We already know what you can do. Get the easy wins.
Are you?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Are you optimistic about the Eagles' season still?
No,
did that loss cause any panic for you?
No, it didn't. If anything, I like where we're at because our team plays better with the pressure. Not pressure, but the opposite, actually. They play better knowing that they're the underdogs.
Okay.
And now, since people are counting us out, you're going to see the Eagles turn up a notch. Why do you think we won that Super Bowl that year? Every single round we were in, teams looked at us and were like, oh, it's just the Eagles.
Yeah, no, true.
Oh, with no Carson. We got Nick Foles coming, and we won.
Yeah. The issue of Carson trying to do too much, is that a new problem you've seen? Is that something that's been consistent throughout his career?
Year 2017, I believe, was his sophomore campaign.
Because I almost feel like some of his injuries can be blamed also on him trying to do too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True,
so it's like
that one in the playoffs. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're saying his injuries are lined up with him trying to do too much, yes. But if his lack of production on the field is because he's trying to do too much, no. That just recently started.
Okay.
And it's because his 2017 campaign, he was a MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Sophomore season.
He would have won it if he didn't get hurt.
Exactly. So just based off that year, you know his ceiling. But we've just gotten such a small sample size of it.
Yeah.
And he feels like he has to prove to people he can get back to that point. I'm just saying, you're up 17-0 on the Redskins. I would not have been mad at you if you just dumped off for the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to always go for the big plays. You don't. Sometimes you just gotta get the win and get out.
Absolutely.
And great quarterbacks know that.
Absolutely. That game was very interesting to me. I mean, the first half, I was kind of in my couch saying, like, wow, these Eagles they look as impressive as I expected them to look. Mm-hmm. They looked like 2017 Philadelphia. And then, I mean, the offense wasn't making enough plays to keep the defense on the sideline.
Yeah. So
they were coming in, short breaks, 3-and-outs, turnovers. They were gassed. They couldn't make the plays that they were making that built that 17-0 lead.
Exactly.
It was a rough scene. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I take one rough scene and I raise you one. So I mean, the Lions, man. So in order to explain why this is so rough, I have to go back 2 years ago.
Let's go
to
back.
Matt Patricia's first game as a Lions head coach against the Cardinals. This was Kyler Murray's first game. So this was. All right, I'm getting it mixed up. It wasn't 2 years ago. We didn't open up against the Cardinals. We opened up against the Jets. Mm-hmm. Monday night. Sam Darnold's first game. First play of the game, or first drive, he comes out and he throws a pick six.
Yeah.
As a rookie, you know that he was rattled. You know that he was in a position where now, okay, keep that foot on his neck, and you're going to most likely come out here with a win. We go out and we completely botch that game and get blown out, make Sam Darnold look all pro. Whatever. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. The season ends up being a wash. It is what it is. Next year now, we're going up against Kyler Murray in his first game. You come out in the first half now, not just the first. You come out in the first half, and I believe at the end of the first half, it was like 24-0 or like 17-0.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, we're up, like, I want to say 24-7, something. Like, we had a significant lead. We end up tying that game. They come back, and they make it a game, and they end up tying. Okay, I'm starting to get a little concerned now. Fast forward all the way to this week one. You open up with a 13-0 lead in the half, 13-3 lead. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, you're up 23-6. And you somehow lose that game 27-23. If the Lions start this season 0-4, fire Matt Patricia. It's time.
It's time?
I'm not optimistic. The future is bleak in Detroit right now. Kenny Golladay being out for a second straight week. You're about to go into Lambeau with Aaron Rodgers coming off of the performance he put up against Minnesota last week. Bro.
That's tough. It's a tough
Bro,
one for you this
Matt
week.
Stafford made a boneheaded play in the fourth quarter that gave Chicago the chance. Stupid, I'm not going to let you get the chance. Like, we let them get the chance. Like, it was so, bro. You do all that. You're still in a position to win the game.
There's still some hard feelings here, people.
At the 18-yard line, you throw a perfect ball to your stud rookie running back. Wide open, perfect throw. It made the McDonald's arch like over the linebacker's head, bro.
It was a nice
It
throw.
dropped in his hands. The defender couldn't even hit it.
Great play call, great throw.
And he just dropped
Poor
it.
execution.
See, I'm not going to get on DeAndre Swift because, you're a rookie. First game, drops happen. We're going to need you down the stretch. So keep your head up. Things happen, bro.
Thanks.
Like, get him this week. So this isn't DeAndre Swift slander at all. I wish you held on to the ball, but damn it, man. It happens. Matt Patricia, bro. Like, this team just shows an inability to close games under your tenure. This is there's a pattern here. Fool me once, cool. Fool me twice, now I'm ass. Now I'm not getting fooled anymore. Now I'm feeding into a pattern. 0-4, man. It's time to. I'm saying right now he's on the hot seat. You lose 2 more straight, it's time to go.
There it is.
We won't even get into the Colts, bro. Phillip Rivers has been doing this for years, so I don't know what you want to say. I don't know what you can't even say.
It's basically defense.
Oh, it's defense. It's defense.
Minshew had 3 touchdowns.
Bro, he only threw the ball 20 times.
He's had 142 passer rating.
Like, I mean, I get you, man. Is defense a problem? Yeah, but if you're Phillip Rivers, you got to find a way to close that game.
Yeah.
You just have to find a way to close
You
that
tell
game.
me you can't keep up with Gardner Minshew? Minshew mania?
Come on, bro.
Don't be sorry.
Don't look at me like that.
Don't be sorry, ho. Be careful. I'm sorry.
It could be worse. We could have lost to the Washington football team.
Oh, damn.
Or Miss Trubisky.
All right. I was on your. All right.
I was on your side. He wanted to take low blows.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, man. Any other football topics you want to get to? Anything else you're seeing out there that you like? I mean, predictions. Gotta go somewhere else for predictions.
I gotta go somewhere else for the football talk, man. Let's get into it.
I mean, this one's interesting. I don't know if you want to bring it. This one's interesting just because there seemed to be some chatter about it, and then it did die down a little bit. But I still think it's worth bringing up. Just in case. I think we can get ahead of the curve on this one. Mm-hmm. So we talked about the Thursday night game a little bit. What we saw, we mentioned that Odell, it was a nice Odell sighting.
Yeah.
Fantasy-wise, sell high on him right now if you can. There was some chatter about Odell being traded, being on the trading block.
Yep.
I don't know if the Browns came out and dispelled any of those rumors.
They haven't
Obviously
yet.
not enough for us to feel comfortable talking about this. Mm-hmm. If you are the Browns and if you're – all right, let's first talk as a football mind and then talk as a football fan. Best fit for Odell, and then where would you want to see Odell? And honestly, I could see them being the same in some instances.
Yeah, true. Okay. As a football mind, if I'm a GM, if I'm the Browns GM specifically,
Yeah.
I want to give Odell away while his value's still high.
Yes.
And this is Baker's test year, basically.
I agree.
If Baker doesn't perform, which even though he got the win on Monday, it wasn't Thursday.
Yeah.
It wasn't impressive enough.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't like a dominant performance.
Yeah, I could not agree. I couldn't.
Some
agree
can
more.
say that if he doesn't land that bomb to Odell,
Dude, then I could also argue that the run game opened up play action so much
Exactly.
that I almost feel like I could have made some of those throws.
exactly. So when you put all that together, Browns are gonna be looking for a quarterback next season. You use your most valuable trade for a first rounder, maybe turn that into Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? So, so in doing that, you would have to dump Odell off to a trash team to secure that pick.
Yeah. If you're the Browns, you don't want to give him away to a New England.
No.
You don't want to give him away to Baltimore. No, definitely no one in your division.
No one in your division. Like I said, you want to dump him off at like a maybe a Denver.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, who knows? Drew Lock, Cortland Sutton, Odell.
Interesting fit.
But where do I want to see him? I want to see him in a cheesehead helmet, man.
Yo.
I want to see that boy lined up opposite Devontae Adams.
Oh.
And Rodgers in the pocket.
Oh.
Man,
That would be
deserves
beautiful. That would be beautiful. That offense fits perfect for him.
Yeah.
And it's almost like as a football mind saying that like, okay, I probably don't want to ship him to anywhere in the AFC. I was thinking Green Bay is the perfect fit for him.
Thanks.
So I agree with you fully on that. As a fan, yo man.
If you say Detroit, I'm gonna throw you through this table. He better not say no foolishness like that.
Yo man, as a fan, I want to see him in Houston, bro.
Oh.
I want to see him with Deshaun Watson. I'm sick of Deshaun Watson not having the help he deserves. Like, I really am. I think Odell opposite Will Fuller opens up the deep route for Will Fuller. Both can be threats deep.
You know why I like that?
Go ahead.
Because Baker's problem is that he doesn't have balls.
Yes.
He doesn't have.
Yes.
He doesn't have the cojones. He doesn't have what it takes to trust your number one receiver.
I agree.
Odell's numbers have dropped drastically since playing with Eli Manning. It is not because of a drop off of talent. I don't think Eli Manning is worlds better than Baker.
Agreed.
He just makes those throws.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson is not afraid to make those. He's a better version of Baker and Eli.
Yeah.
He's basically, you could say Eli with Baker's mobility. Who the fuck, like, I don't know, put him in a lab, do something. Deshaun is great.
What is the difference with Odell going to the Texans than it was last year when they had DeAndre Hopkins?
I mean, last year with DeAndre Hopkins, they made it to the AFC Championship. Like, so it just goes to show you what Deshaun Watson could do with a weapon. I think we haven't ever even seen Odell in a system that we haven't even seen him with a quarterback that can get him the ball consistently and can get it to him quickly. Like, Eli had a noodle arm by the time that Odell got there, and Odell was still putting up crazy numbers. Baker Mayfield has a strong arm, but doesn't have the mind that Eli had. Like Christoph said, he doesn't have that confidence that, yo, this is my number one guy. I know I need to just throw it up to him, and he's going to go get it.
Me? Like,
Deshaun Watson knows that.
He's not going to take it past the AFC Championship?
Well, you got to see the Chiefs about that.
Yeah, and the Texans still need to address – they still need to address the offensive line.
I mean, if your point is that because there's another team out there better, it's not worth it to go.
I'm saying is if they're going to go out and get Odell, why did they get rid of DeAndre in the first place?
Well, that was because of contract disputes.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay him.
Bill O'Brien didn't want to pay DeAndre.
Odell's contract situation is already figured out. You're just buying into it.
Yeah.
So that kind of dispels that. Yeah, you say Green Bay.
I say Green Bay.
I say Houston, man.
I'm not mad at your pick.
Both. Yeah, I'm not mad at yours either. Both, obviously, we see the talent at the quarterback position on both those teams.
Exactly.
And how they could exploit Odell's talent.
Yeah, and it's not like the Texans are running out Lamar Miller anymore. They have David Johnson, who looked really good week one.
He did look really good.
And Duke Johnson, who's a viable threat in the passing game.
I think David Johnson's another sell high candidate in fantasy.
Definitely to get rid of that boy. Cause,
I
yeah.
think he's another sell high. Yeah, man. So that's it with the NFL right now. Yo, again, week 2 predictions. We got a lot in there.
Yep.
We got a lot in there. This football.
I'm seeing another 50% this week. Another above 500.
Yeah. I look back at it. I'm definitely gonna do better than 4 for 15.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna do better than that. I think I'm gonna shoot like 75% from the field.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I'm feeling good.
Okay.
There were some I obviously missed, but I think I did.
You know, there's not much room for error because we both lost Thursday night.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Damn. Damn. Why you had to remind me? Shit, man. All right, man. But let's get into it, bro. Let's get into it. NBA, man. NBA. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like that way they dribble up and down the court. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's like that. It's like that. I got bars. Yeah, bro. Okay. There's nowhere else to start here.
There's not.
There's nowhere else to start here. Daniel's favorite team, the Los Angeles Clippers.
That's not my favorite team. Don't ever say that. You guys know my favorite team.
It's no better. His favorite team is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Man, we got a championship.
I wish we could see your
We got a
face.
championship.
Bro, we got 3s. Don't. You can't talk
Who
about.
won a championship last?
You can't
Three's
talk that shit.
company.
Who's the latest one to win a championship?
Who's going to the finals this year?
You don't even know that yet.
We do though. We do though.
Celtics and
Up
Celtics.
2-0, looking good.
Wait, Celtics and what?
Celtics.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yo, man, Clippers 3-1 lead. Pandemic Paul, Kawhi fooled us all. I'm still rhyming.
I called that too. How dare you say I'm a Clippers fan if I'm the only one out of y'all two that said the Clippers gonna win?
think he's angry.
How dare you? Tell him what I did. Tell him.
He did say Nuggets in 7.
Exactly.
Both times.
I predicted the West.
Both times.
He
Lakers or Nuggets?
He was shooting for the stars, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
exactly, bitch. Exactly. Shit, man. Nah, for real, though. Okay, yeah, no,
Okay.
for real. 3-1 lead. Clippers blow it. First initial reaction. Like, what was your thoughts watching that Game 7?
Look, I held out hope until the moment where Paul George decided to throw the ball at the backboard.
Like, it wasn't
It wasn't even a shot. It wasn't even a shot. He just threw it at the backboard, and that was the moment I realized, okay, there are no Jimmy Butlers on this team. There are no Kobe Bryants. There are no, like, the guy who was like, you know what, my team's not performing. I got to do this myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Paul George isn't that. And I honestly, the only thing I took away from Kawhi's performance, I think Kawhi doesn't want to be the best player on the best team in the league. And I think that's why he left Toronto. Because if you really look at it, Toronto was a perfect fit for him. And they made it as far as they did this year without him. So let's throw all that, Kawhi took Toronto anywhere last year. Let's throw all that out the window because Toronto was great before Kawhi and they're great after Kawhi. Kawhi just kind of took the scale a little bit. But he's clearly proven that he doesn't want to be the best player on the best team because there was no point in that Game 7 where you saw him say, give me every possession. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He actually looked like he was running away from the ball at some points.
Yeah.
The team looked like it quit, man.
Definitely.
I don't know how else to put it. It looked like a straight quit job, straight choke job.
Someone said something funny as fuck on Twitter. Do you remember the first game of the season, Lakers versus Clippers?
Yeah.
And the Clippers won. Patrick Beverley had that block on LeBron for the win. Somebody said this was the Clippers championship, and I believe that's what it was.
Bro, look at how they celebrated. I mean, Pat Bev, yo, man.
That team does a lot of talking.
Bro, back to referencing Twitter, I saw someone said this team just had a lot of talkers and just not enough walkers.
Facts.
Like, they had a lot of guys that were just looking to just chirp, man. Do a lot of chirping and not enough playing.
I'm sorry to bring up the Heat. No, I'm not. Do I look sorry? Fuck y'all. No, but like, and you look at the Heat carry themselves, a team that has the best record in the playoffs right now. Who's talking shit? Who's shitting on the Celtics? Who even has shit on? Like, no one from the Heat organization has shitted on any of the previous team. Even with bad blood with the Pacers, knowing the TJ Warren history, there was no quotes from Jimmy Butler saying.
He came out and said, yo, that shit's dead.
Yeah, he literally said, like, I'm over that.
Yeah, like, we're here to play.
Now onto the Celtics, they're not saying, oh, they're overhyped. There's no talking. They're handling business, and you see the difference between teams like the Clippers and teams like the Heat.
Yes, and look at how it's manifesting in terms of what it's doing to the other team's locker room.
Yeah.
Like, Marcus, I could point at that moment with Paul Millsap and Marcus Morris in Game 5 as the turning point for the Nuggets.
Facts.
Marcus Morris put too much dip on his chip.
A little too much dip on his chip.
And Paul Millsap responded and essentially carried them to a Game 5 win, and then the team just rallied around that.
Yep.
Then in response to the Heat, like you say, you just sheer silence, just cold-blooded assassin type mentality from everyone on the team.
Imagine if one of them fucked around and unlocked.
And look at the reports that you're getting out of Boston's locker room. Chairs being thrown, people yelling, Marcus Smart cursing and walking out of the locker room. Look at what happened, dude, with Philly. Philly fans before this season were saying Jimmy Butler chose good weather and 30 wins over an actual shot at a championship.
And you know what's funny about the 76ers, since we're not going to get into them, they're not here. Y'all irrelevant. But another thing, did you hear about how Brent Brown and people in his camp basically made it so they wouldn't resign Jimmy?
Yes, no,
and people in Ben Simmons' camp as well said, we will not stay here if Jimmy's here. If that doesn't say I'm not serious about winning a championship, I don't know what does.
And even more so to that point, look at the last time the Bulls made the playoffs. Who was on their team? Jimmy Butler. The last time Minnesota made the playoffs, who was on their team? Jimmy Butler. They had no dogs. He called them out. They couldn't take it. At some
point, you guys have to stop. You guys have to sit here and really think to yourselves: is this really Heat fans just talking shit, or do they have a point?
A and B, bro. Just like anything that's contagious, winning sometimes can make you sick.
Yeah.
Like, you get me? Like that contagious attitude only catches on if everyone has bought in.
Jimmy's interview. Jimmy was saying that to fit in here, you just have to want to win.
Yes.
That's the bare minimum.
And it's spread.
Yep.
It's contagious and it's spread.
And to a point when you know what topic are we on right now? We're talking about the Clippers.
Yeah.
Are we segueing onto the Heat? I want to talk about some Heat.
I mean, because here's an interesting way you can segue into it. Do you blame the Clippers breakdown on coaching, or do you blame it on the players?
100% coaching.
It was 100% coaching.
It was 100% coaching.
Okay, explain.
Because the way I see it,
And
right?
you could use that to segue easily into the Heat.
Okay, so you look back at when OKC blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors, right? I believe that it was Billy Donovan at the time, or no?
I believe it was. No, it was Billy Donovan.
It was Billy Donovan at the time. I believe that Steve Kerr just kept his team poised, and was able to rally past freshly out of college coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it wasn't X's and O's. It was just, guys, mentally just lock in.
Yeah, mentally lock in.
Okay.
We got this.
Okay.
And Kevin Durant folded and then slid to that team like a little bitch.
Yeah.
And then you also point to another 3-1 blown lead, Cavaliers versus the Warriors.
Yeah.
That one I don't attest to coaching. That one I attest to LeBron James. Like that.
Yeah.
That's just different.
Yeah.
So okay, so when you look back at this series 3-1, right? Basically, you just need your guys, right? Either Paul George or Kawhi, people you brought there to do that one job, and you're like, take us there, right?
Yes.
Their numbers in Game 5 weren't bad.
Or Game 6.
Or Game 6. They weren't bad. They did what they had to do. And then you look at where they didn't get production from.
Yeah.
And you just wonder why Doc kept those certain people in instead of maybe moving the rotation around a little bit.
Did you see that stat that Doc has lost the most Game 7s in NBA history?
Honestly, look, you guys don't know this, but I argue with our tech guy, Daniel.
Dan the man.
Dan the man with OnlyFans, man. He did he tell you this? He considers Doc Rivers a better coach than Eric Spoelstra.
Really? Okay.
I can't.
Now we know why he doesn't have a microphone.
No, but like it's like
Doc got coach of the year.
All right. Bro,
in a
whatever.
season where he won like 30 games.
It wasn't 30 games.
I could
What was
argue
it?
that Eric Spoelstra should have been
What
coach
was
of the
it?
year
Look it up
this
right
year.
now, Mr. Fact check it.
How did Eric Spoelstra not win any coaches of the
Exactly.
year?
So
when
that's what I'm
LeBron
saying.
was
Coach of the
there?
year
Like,
doesn't
come
really
on, bro.
mean much to
Come
me
on.
nowadays.
Stop that. All right, bro.
Are we gonna
Yeah.
get that fact check? Or are you scared?
Well, I mean,
No, he doesn't have any coaches of the year. He's right. He's right on that.
No, I'm saying no. Doc Rivers. He said the 1 year he won it, they only won like 32 games or some shit.
Really? Okay, yeah.
no,
I'm down for a fact check on that.
Definitely.
Because continue. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So it's a segue, but also just have a final stamp
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
Clippers conversation. Doc Rivers showed that he was relying too much on his talent
Yeah.
to win those last
I
3
agree.
games.
And I think him and Ballmer did buy into the Kawhi Jordan comparisons. When I don't think Kawhi's a Jordan.
He's not.
I think Kawhi can be the best player on a good team, but if you're looking at him to be that guy to take you over the hump, alongside a guy in Paul George, and it's interesting to me that Kawhi actually requested Jimmy before Paul, because I think he saw that.
I think it's interesting. He didn't just go to LA.
45 games in a lockout year. Okay.
45 games in a lockout year.
Okay.
So
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I don't like it.
It's a lockout year. It is
With
what it is.
Orlando, right?
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't know.
It is
I
what
don't
it is.
hear it.
They were. Is that the year they were the 8th seed in the playoffs? I don't know. But okay. So I mean, either way, the coach of the year still doesn't matter. Eric Spoelstra is a significantly better coach than Doc.
I don't
Like.
think that no more. I said that's why I said
Oh,
it.
okay. Oh, at the time. Yeah. Okay.
Way before
Oh,
this
fair.
I even knew about the 3-1 thing.
Yeah.
Way before that.
Yeah. No, I get you, man. I think this whole 3-1 thing has put Doc in a new light. I mean, I don't know if you've heard what Kendrick Perkins has been reporting. He's saying that the Clippers are already talking about breaking this whole thing up.
Oh, yeah.
And if it is broken up, does it start? But they also have said Doc Rivers is definitely going to be returning as coach next year. So they're not.
That's probably why it's getting broken.
So they're not starting with the breakup at the coaching. They're starting with the breakup with the players.
Lou Will is already on trade.
Lou Will, Montrez. It's followed the Raptors on Instagram.
That the GM thinks it's more.
I think it's
Doc
more the
than-
players than it is the coaches.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's some moves.
You just said it was coaching.
No. I'm saying the fact that they but they're keeping Doc. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
So the
see what
fact
you're
that they think that Doc is what they need to be successful and
Yeah.
not Kawhi and
Yeah.
like That's ignorant to me.
Here's what when I look at all the 3-1 series that Doc has blown, though, okay, Tracy McGrady, we all know what I think of him. Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, come on now, like, come on.
Lob City.
Like, I get you, and do I think that team underachieved?
Greatly.
I just think it's because Chris Paul kind of has that Kawhi effect in some instances. Like, I don't think he's going to be that guy to lead a team to a championship. We saw the magnificent work he did with the Thunder and those young guys this year. Mm-hmm. Still lost in 7 to a better team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then when I look at this series with Kawhi and Paul George, like games 5 and 6, okay. So a lot of people like to say they shouldn't even have been in a game 7. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you supposed to take your best players out? Like, at the end of the day, yeah, the stat lines look good, but when it came down to time to get it done, they just didn't get it done, bro. Like, when you have stars, like, it's just, like, what was coaching supposed to do? What coaching adjustments was he supposed to make? I mean, you, with a guy like Lou Will, you expect him to get hot. He just didn't get hot. Yeah. So what, you're just never supposed to play him?
He wasn't scoring.
So then you just don't ride him? You hope that you just – I mean, but if we look at them – but he played Lou Will less. Like, he played Lou Will significantly less minutes in this series. So it's like he did address that. So I just don't know. I don't think Zubac or Trez were built to handle Jokic. And Jamal Murray just went berserk. And Paul George didn't. Like Jamal Murray scored maybe less points than Paul George in some games, but his impact just took over. Mm-hmm. Paul George never had that moment where I feel like he took over and put his footprint on the game.
If you're the GM of the Clippers, what do you do going into next season?
Oh, man. I think you have to retool the bench. Mm-hmm. I think you have to create a more deep team. I think you have to look at the possibility of adding Bradley Beal instead of Paul George. I think Bradley Beal got a little bit more dog in him than Paul George does. I think he fits over there better. Paul George isn't the answer. He's just not the answer. Like, when I look at all these other superstar situations, if you're going to build a team around a star, you got to have the right star.
Yeah.
We look at Houston, they don't have the right star. And now in LA, I don't think they have the right star. Milwaukee, I don't think Giannis is the right star.
I don't think he have the right pieces around him, but that's another topic.
Another topic. But okay, I mean, all right. So even based off what I'm saying, which superstar team do you think gets blown up first? Which one do you think needs to get blown up first? Which superstar team right now is in the most, like, bleak situation? You would say Houston.
I think Houston.
You wouldn't say LA with all this that's going on? Paul George came out and said this isn't a championship or bust season. I can't rock with players that are thinking like that. This was obvious. No, Did you see what the Clippers gave up for you?
Yeah.
And you would say this, like, come on, bro. Like, come on. You give up those picks because you're confident that you're going to win a championship.
You're only getting older.
What are you talking about? Like,
so, okay. Real quick, before I touch on, like, my real answer, may I just say, if I'm the GM of the Clippers, right? Fantasy. This is obviously a fantasy situation. If they can get it done, get it done. Fire Doc. You throw whatever money you need to at Greg Popovich, right?
Okay.
Bring him in.
Okay. So that solves the coaching problem.
You package Lou Will and Montrez.
You don't worry about that relationship between Kawhi and Pop?
Not as
You don't think it ended bad in San Antonio?
I don't. I think that was more of an organizational issue.
Okay.
But you try to package Lou Will and Montrez. You try your best to keep Shamet because you need that shooting.
Yeah.
You send him over to OKC for Chris Paul, right? You get Chris Paul, Paul George, Kawhi on the same court, coached by Popovich.
I feel like I'm playing 2K right now.
Yo, I mean, it's funny because people can say that now, but look at what's happened in the last 2 years.
Absolutely, dude,
Russell Westbrook and James Harden teaming up. Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Y'all can't even say the 2K thing anymore, honestly.
If the money works, anything can happen.
Yeah, and I think that works. Chris Paul has an expensive contract, but you don't have to re-sign Lou Will or Montrez.
Yeah.
So, and I just feel like a team like that with that good of a coach and Chris Paul would have never let that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Paul George wasn't scoring in the fourth quarter. Kawhi wasn't scoring. You think Chris Paul also wasn't gonna go get some buckets?
I feel you.
You feel me? Like and I think Chris Paul is that dog they need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not one like Patrick Beverley who just talks and can't back it up. Like Chris Paul will talk. Bro, and he'll go out and get you 30 and 10.
Patrick Beverley is literally getting paid to go out on the court and, like, work out.
I'll give you Patrick Beverley stats.
Like, he's doing, like, a good cardio. He's getting a good cardio workout out there.
He had 2 fouls and 2 points in Game 7, I think. Like, I'll give you that. I'll give you 7 points.
0 brush teeth. Oh man.
Are one of the teams interested in Giannis as well?
I would if I'm
calm down.
If I'm talking about all these superstar teams, I would definitely say the most stable situation is the Lakers. LeBron and AD aren't going anywhere for a little bit.
Facts.
I think the Clippers hold on to Kawhi and Paul George.
You have to. They invested too much.
To, exactly. I just think they put themselves in a position where they have no other option.
Yeah.
And, I mean, okay, if you're stuck with Kawhi and Paul George, you're in a pretty good situation. How do you fill the team out?
I would like to be stuck.
I would
with
like
those
to
two.
see them fill that team out with a couple more shooters and at least a big or two.
I
Like,
think
if
they
they
need
could
a-
have snagged Dwight Howard in front of the Lakers, that would have been huge.
I feel like they need a true point guard.
Interesting. You don't like Reggie Jackson?
No. What kind of question is that?
I like Reggie Jackson.
Whenever
I think
ever
he's a
liked
good.
Reggie Jackson.
I think he's a serviceable backup point guard.
Backup point guard. I'm
Derrick
for that,
Rose?
for that starting lineup.
Derrick Rose.
I like Derrick Rose, but in Lou Will's role.
Okay.
Like if Lou Will gets traded,
Yeah.
I like Derrick Rose coming off the bench and serving as that.
Yeah.
And he'll even be in the lineup down the stretch.
I know Derrick Jones in the Heat. There's some maybe some contract issues that might happen there.
Yeah,
If the Clippers
unfortunately.
grab him, I think that's a good fit for them. I want to see him end up in a system that's going to fit him well. It's obviously Miami, but you can't hold on to everyone.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, man. If I'm talking about superstar situations that I want to see blown up, I'm going to Houston. I am looking at Houston. Like I said, Harden just isn't the right star. They keep changing all the pieces around Harden. They keep trying to change the coach. They keep trying to they keep changing everything but Harden.
Yeah.
Like Harden needs to go. I would like to see Harden in Boston. Harden in Boston's system would, I think, actually serve him better than D'Antoni's system because Brad Stevens, I think he knows how to get the best out of ball-dominant guards. Kyrie's a different situation. Kyrie's just a different guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Kyrie knew that he was only going there as a pit stop before he went to wherever he wanted to go. And I think Kyrie also was aware that Jason Tatum was next up.
Which is why I was saying, like when you rewatch this,
Yeah.
you're gonna see my face when you say that, and I had not that I was gonna like totally disregard it. I actually just sat here and thought about that fit, and I don't like it simply because Jason Tatum has arrived as
He's here. He's already here.
He's
I
here.
think he's emerging. I don't think he's there yet.
I think because
They gave him the keys.
He has the keys for sure.
He's done his thing against the Heat.
Yeah.
It's just that better team. You know what I'm saying? Better coaching. So
Okay.
I just feel James Harden is gonna slow down that offense.
What about Indiana? If D'Antoni goes over there, would he follow D'Antoni to Indiana?
James Harden in Indiana.
I think he needs to go to
probably-
the East.
that's
That's
probably a nice fit.
the main thing I'm
You
getting
think
at.
James Harden would go to a smaller market team? When has that ever happened? A team?
I mean, OKC,
a
he
player-
drafted him.
No, but I'm saying has a player gone from playing for a big market team and left for other than LeBron?
Interesting.
Other than LeBron, with the obvious reason of
Yeah.
wanting to win Cleveland championship.
Yeah, I mean,
but do players do that? I don't think so.
That's an interesting point.
Huh? You think James Harden's just gonna get traded somewhere he doesn't want to go?
Does James Harden get traded to somewhere he doesn't want to go?
No.
I mean, yeah. At this point, though, I think in his mind, I think he's happy at a place where he can contend for a championship.
To be honest, he's happy in Houston. He's not trying to leave.
Yeah, and that contract is crazy. So you have to probably.
He's chilling in Houston, so like I said.
Do you do a Giannis for Harden switch?
I'll say
Giannis for Harden?
I'll say maybe put.
I don't think Milwaukee does that.
Milwaukee doesn't do it. Okay.
I think they should try to play Giannis and Harden.
Because think about it, Giannis led the Bucks last year in rebounding, assists, and points. You're gonna trade all that away just for some guy who's gonna get you 40 every now and then.
He's gonna get you 40 most nights.
Yeah, but what happens? But what happens to that rebounding? What happens to that?
I get you.
ball
No, I
movement?
get you.
Yeah, but that's why I think that Harden and Giannis being teammates would be amazing.
All right, so okay. See, the thing with Harden and Giannis, it's funny because both of them are two guys that I see staying put. So then, if the question then becomes, what's the right piece to put around Harden or Giannis? Like, I feel like, how do you get much better than Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook? Like what's like,
Okay.
what's the
Well,
Paul George
let's
James Harden?
okay,
Would
let's-
that have gone better than Kawhi and Paul
Let's
George?
look at the problem that Houston had this past series.
Yeah.
I feel like they were their small ball backfired, and AD
Yeah.
had his way, and
Yeah.
LeBron had his way in the
Harden
paint.
never really had a
So,
solid thing besides
so if
And Clint, whatever.
DeMarcus Cousins is 100% healthy, they bring him over to Houston. Maybe that could be a thing.
That's not ass. What about Draymond?
Another one, but that's too small still.
Still?
Still, LeBron. LeBron has been known to bully Draymond. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get
Anthony
you.
Davis.
I think Draymond definitely gives them a lot of interior defense, though. I think he gives them a lot of perimeter defense.
No, also true. But like I said, Demarcus isn't really necessarily asking for much nowadays. So.
Man, the health concerns.
But it's Demarcus is always a low risk, high reward. That's why the Lakers
True,
signed him
especially
earlier this season.
Facts. No, I'm not mad at that, man. That's some really good points, man. Yeah, man, a lot going on in the sports world. That 3-1 lead, it was just so perfect.
Yeah.
As a Heat fan, like we were in a 3-1 lead, close that shit out. That's how we do. Quickly, Heat Celtics game 3 tonight. What are your thoughts, predictions, score prediction? Who's gonna win?
Give me.
I can read.
Give me Miami. I think the Celtics bringing Gordon
How's my
Hayward.
Heat take looking?
I think Gordon Hayward coming back for game 3 is just showing a sign of desperation. They're just trying to roll out someone else who can score 20 points a game. It's going to stagger their offense, and Miami already jumps on whatever they're already doing. So give me Heat in 3.
I think we see a big Jimmy game tonight. I think 30+ from Jimmy. Give me Heat. I mean, you already have him sweeping, so I think the Heat take this one. The Celtics punch him in the mouth early, just like they have been. We respond.
I actually think Miami gets out to a good start this
Interesting.
game.
I'm not mad at it. Hey, I'm not mad at that.
I think they do.
Any other sports? Hockey world, want to give a shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Dallas Stars heading to the Stanley Cup final. Shout out to y'all teams. Tampa Bay, hey, Florida, man. We out here in Florida, boy. We out here. Yo, man.
Better represent.
This has been episode 10 of the Behind the Logo podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like all of our videos. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, Behind the Logo 23. Coming to you officially now on all streaming platforms.
Yes, sir.
Where you find your podcast. Your boys done glowed up. Hey, man, we love y'all. Always know that we are pulling up.
What a world, what a world. Life is a bitch, what a girl, what a girl. I just wanna fuck her till we make her toes curl. We all on the hunt trying to